Hi, I'm Justin Boyd.
Hi, I'm George Luna.
I'm Brittany Pacheco.
Tristan Jones.
Amber Churchwell.
And we are the Watchers in the Basement.
Welcome to the Watchers in the Basement. We are here today to talk about the best and worst of 2020. TV shows, movies, all that good stuff. But I want to start off the show by talking about some big news that came down late last week or middle of last week. And it's the story about Henry Cavill. He's no longer Superman. Just 6 weeks after finding out that he was going to come back as Superman, now he's out as Superman. He posted on Instagram that he was not going to be the character. And James Gunn, who's now the co-CEO of DC, basically said the same on Twitter. He said, hey, he's writing a Superman movie that's apparently a younger Superman, and thus Henry Cavill will not be the actor who plays the character. I want to point out Henry Cavill's like only 39. He doesn't look 39, so he could probably play the character if they really wanted to, but they were using the age as a reason to get him out of there.
Okay.
This is a bummer for me. So this story to me is kind of the best and worst of the year because Superman returning was having him come back was a huge story. And then obviously to lose that actor 6 weeks later is a huge bummer. Brittany, you're the one that kind of broke that to me. And I think some of us, you found out about it first. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I actually found out through John, who told me that IGN had put out the post about how it was official that Henry Cavill would no longer be part of James Gunn's DC universe. And it's so strange how like all this came out so quickly. Quick shout out to Mel from Geeking Out with Mel, who's in the chat. Appreciate you being here. So with the news of Henry Cavill no longer being Superman, it's so abrupt because he in October said he was coming back.
Late October.
Late October. He was coming back because of the spoiler, or I say spoiler, but the mid-credit scene from Black Adam. And it was just like this big ordeal. And, you know, he left The Witcher. He's going to be leaving The Witcher after season 3 because commitment to Superman. And like now it's all for naught.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I kept saying from the get-go, I'd rather see him as Geralt of Rivia than Superman. That's just me personal.
But, you know, for those of y'all, and apparently everyone except for Tristan's seen Black Adam, or Brittany, you haven't seen Black Adam, but
and I refuse to.
In Black Adam, they that famous cameo. What did y'all think about the cameo? Amber, I'll go to you first.
I already knew about it because you know, like everyone and their mother was talking about it. So I knew it was happening. Genuinely, I nearly forgot to actually watch it because, like, once the movie was over, I was just kind of like, cool, okay. I personally didn't really care for the movie, so I was just like, okay, that happened. And then my boyfriend had to be like, wait. We have to watch, like, Henry Cavill, and I'm like, oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I wasn't really... Can't say I was surprised because I already knew. Yeah.
Okay, George, what did you think about the cameo?
I had forgot. It started playing towards the end. I was like, oh shit, Superman's in this. I was like, and then I remember the news. I was like, wait, didn't they just announce that he's not gonna be in it? So then I thought it was silly. So now I'm just like confused of what's gonna happen, what's going on. It just seems like a shit show over there right now.
Yeah,
a little bit.
So the timing of it is very odd because, like I said, in late October, right after the movie came out, I think it was like the Monday after the opening weekend of Black Adam, you know, The Rock was basically giving away the fact that Superman is a movie because he's trying to get people to come see the movie because Black Adam obviously is a lesser known character by far than Superman. And so the following like Monday or Tuesday after the opening weekend, Henry Cavill took to his Instagram account to announce that he was back as Superman. Everybody's excited. Literally the very next day is when we found out that James Gunn and Peter Safran were now the new co-chairs of DC. So Henry Cavill made the announcement, and the next day he got new bosses who didn't like the announcement that he just made. So fast forward to now, obviously he's out. We found out last Wednesday, and then literally 2 days later, Black Adam drops on HBO Max. And The Rock, who's the star of the movie, he's not telling anybody that the movie's on HBO Max. He's obviously had some kind of a falling out with DC. He doesn't like the fact that now James Gunn's in charge. And it's so strange because The Rock, I thought, was going to be a big part of DC going forward, and now it seems like he's one and done. That's hard to believe with a big star like The Rock, but it looks like they're going to reboot everything, and that includes Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's not going to be back, I don't believe.
Yeah, and real quick on the topic of Wonder Woman, Justin, because Gal Gadot on Twitter one day had talked about, hey, this is like the anniversary of when like the first Wonder Woman came out. I can't wait to like show you the next chapter. And then the next day, James Gunn and company say, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, so Wonder Woman's likely going to be, recast, and Aquaman's going to be recast apparently. However, Jason Momoa is going to play a different character in this new rebooted DC universe. He's going to play Lobo, which I doubt y'all are familiar with Lobo. Lobo is a Deadpool-like character in the DC universe that, honestly, Jason Momoa looks just like this character in real life. So like he looks like they'll just put a little bit of face paint on him and he'll be good to go. So, and apparently he's a big fan of Lobo. So that's cool that he's going to be continuing, but it's very weird that you have Aquaman, which was their only billion-dollar movie in the DCEU. And the sequel of Aquaman 2 comes out in 2023, Christmas of 2023. In fact, you have 4 DC movies in 2023 that ultimately their stories are going to go nowhere after that, because then they're going to reboot and get rid of people. So it's a very weird time for one of the biggest brands of entertainment in the world. As far as characters, I mean, who has bigger characters than like DC with Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman? So it's
I want to get Tristan's take on all this.
Yeah, what do you think, Tristan?
This sounds like a shit show to me. Wow. Sounds like the projects to me. That's why I stick to my Marvel like universe and I don't come out. As far as the only thing I care about is the Henry Cavill thing, because I've at least seen Superman movies, Batman, Superman, whatever. It sounded like he got done like pretty dirty from the articles I've read.
Yeah.
He had every reason to believe that he would be back as Superman, and it was kind of an abrupt decision. He's been like one of the bright spots for DC for me. So that was pretty surprising. Like, I think the main thing that I've seen with DC, I don't watch a lot of DC movies, so I'm not an expert on this, but it seems like the thing that they lack the most is stability. So that's a curious decision. Getting rid of your most stable character, or 2 of your most stable characters. If they recast Wonder Woman, I don't understand why I would ever watch another DC superhero movie. But
well,
I have on them.
So I think that James Gunn and them are doing the right thing. It just doesn't make sense right now, but like rebooting this is what makes sense. Ultimately, this will be better. I mean, it can't be much worse. The fact is, like, this DCEU was it wasn't built to last. In fact, there was no real plan at all. I mean, when Zack Snyder started these movies in 2013, he kind of had his idea of like his 4 or 5 movie storyline. He got to do 3 of those movies, but the rest of the universe was kind of like, whatever. And that's why the results have been, whatever. So I think rebooting this and having someone like James Gunn, who did Guardians for Marvel, I think it'll ultimately work. But right now it looks dumb, the fact that you're going to be getting rid of Henry Cavill, a beloved Superman. And also it's like hard to find somebody to play Superman. So like he looks like Superman. It's going to be really hard to find somebody that looks like Superman, embodies Superman. And then the same thing for Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot has been Wonder Woman. I mean, Wonder Woman, the first movie was very successful. The second one, a lot of people forget about that movie. The fact that it came out like Christmas of 2020, heavy COVID times. It went straight to HBO Max. If that movie was in theaters, it would have done well, regardless of what people think of the movie. People would have gone to see it just because they liked the first one. And that happens in movies all the time. And then you have Aquaman, which made $1 billion, and now you're going to have another Aquaman movie a year from now. And then right after that movie, you're just going to end this storyline, which now also is going to bring back Michael Keaton as Batman in this Flash movie. I mean, it's a crazy story how this thing is out of control. And honestly, hitting the reset button is the smart thing to do. But whenever you do that, you're going to lose good stuff and stuff like Peacemaker. Peacemaker is a part of this. And I mean, Peacemaker. Spoiler alert: we're going to talk about our favorite shows. It was one of my favorite shows. Peacemaker is also a James Gunn show. So will James Gunn reboot his own stuff? Will he reboot his wife, who's in that show and in Suicide Squad? Like his wife is, she's cast in that movie and that show, and that's really her whole career. She hasn't really appeared in anything else. So
Who's his wife?
Harcourt, the blonde.
Oh, that chick. Okay.
Her name's Jennifer Holland is the
Oh, okay.
actress. But yeah.
Oh, cool.
So, and she was also in Black Adam. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but she was in that part where they took Black Adam to that underwater prison.
Mm-hmm.
That was Harcourt there. Yeah. So
Sorry. I'm reading Kaylee's comment here. Thanks so much for joining us. The first time I watched Aquaman, I was stoned and it was hilarious. Might be the only way you need to watch DC movies, in my
Kaylee,
opinion.
I love you.
well, and honestly, that might be the best way to transition out of DC talk. Anyway, I hate to see Henry Cavill go because while I wasn't really a fan of the movies he was in, I was a fan of him, and I thought if he ever got to make an actual Superman movie where he was actually playing Superman and not some like emo something that like he was this character who hated being Superman. And his parents were not the parents from every other iteration of Superman. It just never made sense.
You mean not Martha? Sorry.
No. They were his mom is Martha, but like his parents were like so like they were so like negative. Like they were supposed to be like the reason why, he's this alien who becomes like the ultimate like human. Like he loves people more than anything. That's one of his weaknesses. Whereas in the Zack Snyder universe, he should have been more like the guy behind me, Homelander, because that's the way like his family raised him to be a Homelander and he still became Superman. But anyway, it's a mess. I just wanted to address it before we moved on because it's been something I've been thinking about nonstop, and every little like breadcrumb that's out there I read about and try to figure out what the hell's going on with DC. But anyway, so long, Superman. So let's move on to the show now. Let's get into our top. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all choose. Would y'all rather talk about movies first or shows? I'll let Amber. She's the guest. I mean, we've never had Amber on the Monday Watcher show. I don't believe so. What would you like to talk about first? Shows or movies?
Let's do movies.
That's exactly what I was going to do anyway. No, okay. So George, I'm glad you're back with us.
Yay!
I want to go to George first because George has seen everything. He sees it all. He is like, we're the watchers in the basement. He's the watcher though. He sees everything. So,
right. So
George, if you wouldn't mind, tell us some of your like favorite movies of the year and then give us your best at the end.
Okay. Let's see.
He's got a list ready, I can tell.
Okay. So I'll start with the worst ones I've seen, or the ones that I don't recommend people watch. Okay. I didn't like Black Adam. I thought it was everyone kind of talked it up too much. They're trying to hype it up, but it just wasn't my thing. DC movies aren't really my cup of tea.
Attaboy.
So that one was not great. Y'all might hate me for this one. The Gray Man on Netflix with Chris Evans and
I forgot about that one. I liked it though.
Yeah, the action's cool. Story, really dumb. I'm trying to think of what else I saw. That's it for like movies I really like, just didn't like at all.
Well, what's your worst then? Like overall, which one's the worst movie you saw?
Probably that one. Probably like the
Black Adam.
Yeah, probably the Gray Man. Or
Really?
no, Black. I like that movie more than Black Adam. So maybe Black Adam.
What about Morbius? Did you see Morbius?
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it either. I
didn't hate it.
Okay.
Oh boy.
I didn't hate that one. Surprising. That one's on there. Avatar. I've never seen it.
Not yet.
Yeah. Mel, the majority of us here are probably not going to watch it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Isn't like the first one like 4 hours long?
It feels like it. And listen, the first time I actually watched Avatar was like 5 years ago, and I was high on painkillers, and I still
Nice.
just couldn't like deal with it. No. No. My brother paused the movie to make sure I was watching. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
I just don't really care for it either way. Like I'm not. I just don't care. I have zero feelings about it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wouldn't say no to watching it. Like if a friend or a family member is like, "Hey, let's go see the second one," I'm like, "Sure."
I'll watch it on streaming.
It's 3 hours and 20 minutes, by the way.
Yikes!
No, thank you.
A little tough.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
Yeah, before the show, me and Tristan were talking about the new Avatar movie, and Amber, you kind of like just highlighted our point, the fact that like the first Avatar movie was the highest grossing movie of all time. Yet I've never really met anybody who was like super into it. Like I've never seen it. I don't think I'll see the sequel either. But for it to be the number one movie, it's crazy that like you're not like. I've never met a person who's like, oh yeah, it's the best movie. I enjoy it. My favorite character is blank. It's like I can't name a character from Avatar.
Same.
It has no pop culture footprint.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tall Smurfs. Like that's it. They're tall Smurfs.
It's Pocahontas with aliens.
Exactly.
But apparently they're in the water a lot in the second one. So how exciting.
Yeah.
George, so we heard about your worst. What are your best, or what are some of your favorites, and then give us your best at the very end.
So one of my favorites, definitely Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
That was one of my tops for the year. That's number 2 on my list.
Okay.
Number 1 definitely has to be Top Gun. Maverick.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it's a movie that I didn't expect to like. That I was just like, I saw the first one, I thought it was very cheesy. It's like a very 80s movie, but watching this one, I was on the edge of my seat. Like I felt like I was flying that fucking plane, and I was in the plane with them. It's intense. That movie was so cool. I can't wait to watch it again on Paramount when it comes out again. This, I think, like the 23rd or something. So y'all should definitely watch it. It was so damn good.
Still haven't seen it.
The 22nd to be
fucking
exact.
good.
Yeah.
I'm not a Tom Cruise fan, so it's like,
I'm not either, but that movie was really good.
Okay.
Had me on the edge of my seat. So definitely watch it, Brittany.
So Top Gun Maverick, which was it was the highest grossing movie of the year so far.
Yeah. Another movie that I really enjoyed was Barbarian. It was like it's not really a horror movie. It's more like a thriller or something. It was pretty interesting. Definitely. I haven't seen a thriller or horror type movie kind of tell a story in that way. So it was very interesting. And I don't want to spoil anything because it kind of, you can't really explain the movie. You just have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max right now, but I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. It's a good
I
movie.
recommend it.
Watch it. Other than that, I don't know. Y'all have to like name stuff and tell me if I watched it because I forget so many things.
Like you saw the Marvel movies. There were 3 Marvel movies. You mentioned Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
You saw.
See, I don't remember
Thor: Love and Thunder. Did you see that one?
Yes. Did not like it.
You hated that one.
Yep.
Doctor
Strange, the Multiverse of Madness.
Yes. Did not like it.
Did not like that one. Okay. So you saw that.
What else came out? Name it, guys. I'll tell you if I watched it.
Uncharted.
Uncharted, yeah.
Watched it. Wasn't that great. It was okay.
Fantastic Beasts.
Fantastic what?
Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore.
No, I have not. I've been wanting to watch those too, but since I already watched all the Harry Potter movies, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Scream.
No, is that a reboot?
The new one. Yeah.
It's a continuation.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I have not seen that.
Like Scream 25.
Is it worth it? Worth watching?
I really like the Scream franchise, like as itself, so I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how like a casual like non-Scream fan would think of it, but I liked it. I thought it was good for what it was worth. They brought back like certain characters and plot points that you don't really think of, which was so yeah, I liked it.
All right.
Yeah, that's bad.
I watched this movie called Smile. That one.
I saw that too.
Yeah, that one was kind of creepy. Creeped me out. I hate jump scare movies, so Too many jump scares. Yeah, I'll pass my time to someone else to see what else you guys watched.
So let's go to Brittany. Brittany, what are some of your best or some of your favorites, and then give us your best as for the very end.
Okay, so we're talking about best movies, not worst
best.
movies.
Well, you know what? Actually, George gave us worst. So give us the worst first, and then we'll do best. Sorry
Okay.
about that. Yeah.
So for my worst movies, I only have 2.
Okay.
But even the second one, I can't really even say it was worse. I was just really disappointed with it because the first movie from this kind of series was good. So the Agatha Christie books that I adore, Murder on the Orient Express that came out years ago, I thought was incredible with Kenneth Branagh as a Hercule Poirot. I can't say his name, Hercules Poirot. That movie was great. I was really excited about watching Death on the Nile, which is another book from the Agatha Christie series. And man, that movie just let me down like really badly. Gal Gadot starred in it. Armie Hammer was in it. Of course, Kenneth Branagh returns as the world-renowned detective, but it just didn't hit. It did not hit for me. It was very sad. And I only watched this movie out of sheer curiosity. It was earlier this year, and I regret it. The worst movie I saw this year was Marry Me, the Jennifer Lopez and Luke Wilson movie. Jesus, y'all, don't ever watch it. Do yourself a favor. Do not watch it at all. Oh, man. Yeah. Kaylee, thank you for the support. Yes, Death on the Nile was very boring. Just didn't hit.
Yeah, that was kind of considered one of the biggest busts, I think, that movie.
Yeah.
Not that it was supposed to do big in the box office, but I think it was supposed to maybe, at least, I mean, it has a ton of people in it. It's supposed to at least be entertaining, and apparently it failed. So
they changed a lot of the characters to kind of morph them into like one person kind of thing. Letitia from Black Panther is also in the movie, and I thought she was great, but like, I don't know, the story, it just wasn't told very well, and I don't know, it was a very big disappointment. Not as big as Marry Me though. Good God, I wish I could unsee that because that was just terrible.
I forgot that was even a movie that came out.
It came out so early. I think it was just, I don't know. It was on TV one day. It was for free, and I'm like, sure, I'll watch it. And I'm like, wow, wish I didn't.
But I'm glad that J-Lo's back with Ben Affleck. I mean, can't we be happy for those people? Like, I know
I
he's
don't
not in the movie,
fucking
but-
care. I don't fucking care. Okay, the fact that he can speak Spanish better than she can is a disgrace, in my opinion.
I saw that video. That was so funny.
You
He
saw
speaks
that.
that fucking conquistador Spanish.
Yes,
dude.
he does, but still, I mean, the fluidity, and it just, it hits, and then she's just struggling. I'm like, you poor
Hey.
thing.
She's just Jenny from the block. Okay, leave her alone.
Shut up. No, she's not. She's Jenny from a private school. Okay, she's fine. Anyway, but yeah, no, those were my 2 worst movies. My best, or those that I actually enjoyed. There's quite a few, of course. A lot of which we talked here on the Watchers in the Basement. Others, well, one specifically, Amber and I did over on my second channel, because I do have a Harry Potter channel, and we reviewed Fantastic Beasts: The Secret of Dumbledore. And that was fun. That was kind of like the first time that Amber and I really got together to do like a podcast together. So that was cool. But I really enjoyed The Adam Project on Netflix.
Yep, that's a good one. I
I
forgot about
watched that one too.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cute movie. I love Ryan Reynolds. I really don't think he can make a bad movie, except Green Lantern.
That's all the bad ones he's made.
Right. But he was great in the movie. I thought the kid that played his younger self was incredible. He's going to go on to play Percy Jackson in the new Disney Plus series. I'm super excited about that because I like the books. I was an adult when the books came out, but I actually like the books. And so the Adam Project was great. Of course, Black Panther was incredible. Doctor Strange, I really enjoyed. Thor, I also really enjoyed as well. The one that surprised the mess out of me that I really enjoyed was Uncharted. Like, I was pleasantly surprised.
I saw it opening night.
Okay. Tom Holland superfan.
I
over
liked
here.
it. I liked
Cool.
it. Yeah. That is
Like, all right, that's cool. Mel makes a good point. The Batman I enjoyed. It's just 40 minutes too long.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it with
I
that.
forgot that movie came out this year.
Oh,
I
I
know,
didn't
right?
forget. There's
That was a
Batman
good
talk
movie.
coming. Trust me.
I don't
That's on
know.
my list now. That's a good movie.
But yeah, that movie, I really did actually enjoy Robert Pattinson being Batman. Just 40 minutes too long. But I don't really have like a number one movie. But Enola Holmes too. My goodness, like Netflix was kind of hitting it with a bunch of these shows and movies, and I was pleasantly surprised. And Enola Holmes too, which we also did a review here on the
Yeah.
Watchers in the Basement. Go check it out. It was fun. I think I liked it a lot more than the first movie, which was so strange. Henry Cavill,
was about
stick
to say.
with Netflix. My God, don't deviate from Netflix. Anyway,
You have
Yeah,
a calling. It's called Netflix.
yes, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah, he
So
was
come
great as
back.
Sherlock. Yeah.
Come back to The Witcher. Just saying, we can get rid of
Please
Liam
come back as
Hemsworth.
Witcher.
We can get rid of Liam Hemsworth. He's not even the good Hemsworth. Let's get rid of him. Bring you back. Okay, like just saying. But yeah,
Can we do the Hemsworth brothers rankings? Because there's like 3 of them in Hollywood. So
oh my God, yeah. Haven't watched Hocus Pocus, Melissa. I just haven't done it. I don't know why.
Well, I'm going to
Just-
talk about it.
Okay, we'll wait more for Amber. But yeah, those are my best and worst movies. So Tristan, I'm gonna toss it to you, sir.
Doing my research today, I recognized I really didn't watch a lot of movies this year, mostly TV shows. But one movie stands out as far as worst. Again, I've talked about it in several episodes on this channel, but Eternals.
Oh, but technically it wasn't 2022. It was 2021. It was November of
He
2021.
just watched it in 2022.
I watched it.
Gotcha,
In
gotcha.
2022, yeah.
Yeah.
What about
I hated
release
that.
date? That's my
Yeah.
only rule.
Release
Um,
date.
Fell asleep on Eternals. But as far as my best movies, The Good Nurse was one that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Who's that?
I should say Good Nurse is based on a true story. It's about a nurse who is a whistleblower about a male nurse who comes into a hospital and basically kills, a bunch of patients
Oh my.
subtly. Jessica Chastain is in that. Side note, I have a obsession with Jessica Chastain. She's my favorite actress. So Good Nurse, Hustle was another good movie that came out in 2022. Adam Sandler, basketball movie.
Yep.
I'm outside of the Marvel movies. Obviously, Wakanda Forever is number 1 on my list, but Top Gun was number 2. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, I'm old enough to remember when the first one came out. So
4 years ago, yeah.
So very much enjoyed the sequel. We were talking about it before, we started, but it doesn't even seem like a sequel because it was so long ago. But
A little bit.
I was on the edge of my seat. I watched it both times in the movie theater. So those are my 3 non-Marvel movies that I enjoyed this year. But I didn't watch a lot of movies. I guess I didn't feel like I had the attention span for a lot of movies. So
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
I understand. I'm kind of in the same boat. But Amber, let's go to you. Start off with your worst movie, and then let's get your favorites, and then your absolute best.
Well, I don't like saying something's the worst. So
Okay,
I have
you
some that
liked
I
the
just didn't
least.
care.
There we go.
There's one movie that is like a super, super, super small movie that I'm pretty sure you guys hadn't even heard of it, but don't watch it. It's based off of a book. It's called Lost Girls, and it's about Wendy, Jane, and Jane's daughter, like from Peter Pan. And I like Peter Pan lore, so I'm like fine watching different remakes and different tellings and stuff like that. Hated it. I absolutely hated it. But Tewksbury from Enola Holmes is in it. He's Peter.
Aw.
Okay.
And I was so happy about that, but I hated it. Then I don't know. I have a list. I have like a written list.
Go for it.
Don't be shy.
I don't know, man. There's 2 movies that I did. It's not that I didn't like them. It's that I feel like they missed the mark. It's Cyrano. I was telling Brittany, like literally, I was
Mm.
like live messaging you as I was watching this movie.
So that's the
Um,
Peter Dinklage movie.
yeah, Peter. Yeah, it's I liked the premise of it, and it was surprisingly musical. I was really into it. It was a historical romance. I like that kind of stuff. So I was really into it. And the last like 20 minutes just completely shot all of my interest. And like, especially the last 5 minutes, I was just like slapped in the face with how it ended. And I was not really happy with it. But then I have Persuasion, the Netflix Persuasion. I am a huge fan of Jane Austen adaptations, like adaptations of Jane Austen books, so like Pride and Prejudice and Emma. I like all adaptations. Like Clueless is Emma. Like if you like Clueless, you'll like Emma. Like it's
nice.
I like those kinds of things, and I feel like they were trying really hard to make Persuasion cool. Like they were trying so hard to make it like relatable and edgy, like Elizabeth is in Pride and Prejudice. Like the things that I feel like they're striving to have like the recognition and love that Pride and Prejudice does, but Persuasion just does it as a plot.
Mm.
So I kind of felt like it. I want to say it's bad. I just feel like it missed the mark a little bit. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
How I feel about Death on the Nile.
Yeah, like it wasn't bad. Still watch it, but I don't know. I won't really go into the ones that have already been mentioned, but I also liked Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, because Brittany and I, if you want full thoughts of that, go watch the live that Brittany and I did. That was what, like 2.5 hours long?
Oh, it was longer than the movie.
Yeah. Clearly we had thoughts. I liked Barbarian as well. I really liked that. My boyfriend took me to see that as a surprise because I like scary movies like that. So he took me to surprise that, and I really liked it. I liked it. It was good. I also liked, where did it go? Enola Holmes. I liked, and also I said I was going to talk about Hocus Pocus 2, but I also wanted to like combine that with Disenchanted, the sequel to Enchanted.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one either.
Yeah, those are two sequels to Disney movies, classic, like loved Disney movies. So I mean, my one of my cats is both of my cats are named after Hocus Pocus. So I had like really high hopes for that, and I had even more high hopes knowing that they were not going exactly with the plot of the like unofficial sequel book that was written. Because I didn't like that plot either. So I was like really like, okay, cool, maybe there's some hope here. I feel like it just missed the mark. I still liked it. I liked it. I've seen it a couple times already. Watched it the moment it dropped on Disney Plus, but I feel like it missed the mark a little bit. It just doesn't have that same feeling. I feel like it just made it a little too goofy and silly. And Disenchanted, I also liked. I have talked to Christian of Big Dorks with this about this frequently because there are some things that I loved about it. Other things that I'm like, I could have calmed it down a little bit because again, I feel like they were just trying to go so hard with the silly. But there's so many references to other Disney movies and other just fairy tale stories that I really liked it, and I see some potential there. So, yeah, I think that's it for movies for me. I mean, there's also like ones that we haven't mentioned, like kid movies, because I like animated movies. So we haven't mentioned Bad Guys, Turning Red, or Lightyear, or I had another one. Where'd it go? Scrooge. That just came out on Netflix. I liked it. It's a Christmas Carol, but Luke Evans plays Scrooge.
Love Luke Evans.
Yeah, I like his voice a lot, and Just want to hear him singing for a little bit. Just watch that movie. It was good. I liked it. But yeah,
Very
just
cool.
wanted to mention some animated movie.
Yeah, I've got an animated movie to mention also, but that's cool. So before I give my best and worst, no one's mentioned this movie, and I haven't seen this movie, but everyone has seen it, has raved about it. Did anyone see Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Oh shit! Fuck, dude.
See, I knew you. I
need to change my list. That
Oh
shit's
my
up there.
gosh.
That was such a good fucking movie.
I thought
Really
That's a
good movie.
hell of a title.
yeah. Well, it's
Oh,
Heard
it's
good
like
things
crazy.
about it.
it's a
but I haven't seen
multiverse
it.
movie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
It's such
Not
an
DC or
interesting
Marvel,
movie.
but
The
yeah.
story is insane. Like I've never seen a movie like that, and it's very very good.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it, but it hasn't come to streaming
It's
yet.
on Showtime.
Oh, it's on show. Okay, I don't have
Mhm.
Showtime, so okay, cool. But yeah, once it does, I'm gonna watch it because I've heard great things about that movie.
Very good, Jay. That okay. I didn't even know that came out this year.
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah, it was kind of one of the bigger hits because it was an A24 movie,
See, I'm
smaller
telling you,
budget.
I
Yeah.
watch this shit and I forget everything that I watch. So yeah, that one's up there. That one's a really good movie.
Yeah,
I wanted to see it. I completely forgot about it, but I wanted to see it. I just haven't yet.
It's on Showtime.
But it's on.
Watch it.
Oh well, there's another show on Showtime that I think everybody should watch. But
what's that?
one?
Tell us.
Yellow Jackets.
Yeah,
I've been
I
telling
watched
Brittany
it.
about it.
Good show.
I love that show, and they've
Very
already
good.
got. And Brittany sent me the article that they got approved for a third season ahead of the second season being dropped.
I was like, wait, there's a second season already? I haven't.
Well, the
seen
second
any.
season's coming out. They said like early to mid spring, I think.
Okay.
But
Cool.
Yeah.
I think they already finished filming. I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they got
Sure.
approved for a third season, and
Awesome.
I think we should cover it.
I
Everybody
mean,
watch
it was a very popular show. I haven't seen it, but I know a lot of people like Yellow Jackets, so that's cool.
It's a
I'm
good
glad.
show.
I'm glad we're kind of getting some representation for all these things that I hear about, but that I probably won't see or haven't seen. Okay, so if we're gonna start with worst first for me, my worst movie, and I will say worst because it was awful.
I'm ready.
So in 2022, only 2 movies crossed the $1 billion mark at the box office. Now, one of them was Top Gun Maverick, and I haven't seen that, and I think that when I do see it later this week when it's on Paramount Plus, it probably will be my number 1 movie. I think everyone has talked about how great it is. But the other movie that also crossed $1 billion was a movie called Jurassic World
Ew.
Dominion.
Oh god. I told
Jurassic-
Frank not
God
to
about
watch that
that.
movie.
I know.
That shit came out in 2022. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
came out over the summer.
I don't remember a
Lies.
single thing from that movie. What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that movie is like 2 hours and 45 minutes long. It is brutal. When I saw this movie,
Gosh.
I saw it in the theaters, and about 25 minutes in, I started thinking to myself, what am I doing with my life? Like, I need to make better decisions as a person. I'm not going to live forever. I might think I'm immortal, but I'm not. And I'm wasting valuable moments of my life watching. And I knew this movie was going to be bad, but I was like, it's
But yet you went to go see it?
the thing about it's Jurassic. It's supposed to be the final the final movie in the Jurassic saga or whatever. But I mean, they made $1 billion, so they're going to keep making these movies. But
Mm.
the thing about this movie that's ridiculous is if you saw the previous Jurassic Park movie, which I think is Fallen Kingdom, which I thought was the worst until this one came
Super
out.
stupid as well. That's why I did not
No.
watch that movie.
Fallen Kingdom introduces like cloning, like people cloning. We already have dinosaurs. Hey, it's called Jurassic
Yep.
Park. The dinosaurs are kind of cool, right? No, they're like, okay, we're going to clone a little girl who's half dinosaur, half person. Okay. Sounds ridiculous, right? Okay, whatever.
Look at George.
But then you go to Jurassic World Dominion, right? Now, in the last movie, it left off with there are dinosaurs in our world. They're not like they're in our country. They're on the Vegas
We're
Strip.
just
They're
chilling.
everywhere, right? Now, imagine if that happened in our world right now. That would be the biggest story. That'd be around the clock coverage. If there were just like Triceratops like hanging out in my backyard, like in the street, like here in Woodway and Chimney Rock, like just hanging out, that'd be a huge deal, right? But no. In this movie, they decide that the dinosaurs aren't important enough. We're gonna have this evil like it's like a Tim Cook, the Apple guy. Like we're gonna have a guy that looks like him. It's a big tech company that is going to create giant locusts, and they're going to be our villain, right? Now, mind you, there's dinosaurs in this world, massive dinosaurs, T-Rexes, and whatever, Stegosauruses and everything. And they decide that the locusts, that's what we should focus on. This movie is brutal. It's so long. And also, it's a movie that I think you can watch on Peacock. When it went to Peacock, the way they advertised it, and I kid you not, they said the extended director's cut. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, it's 2 hours 45, the theatrical cut. Like, what are you trying to, like, I don't know. Like,
Justin, that's how I felt about the Snyder cut, it being 4 hours long.
the
Fuck
Snyder
that.
cut is actually good though. Okay. Like George's
No.
on my side with this. The Snyder cut's actually
I
good.
don't care.
I liked it.
Yeah. See,
Oh,
okay. We'll-
I like that it was in parts. I thought that was great. Whatever.
Yes.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Jurassic Park is terrible.
Jurassic World, what's it called? Dominion. Brutal. And this movie, it made 625 million overseas. So
I'm disappointed in you and Frank for paying to go see this movie. I told him. He went that same night. I was like, Frank, what are you doing?
I told him too because I saw it before he did, and I said, "Don't go, just don't go."
he goes, "What are you doing with your life?"
I asked myself that question.
I
So-
know.
My 9-year-old is obsessed with dinosaurs, so
Well, that
Oh.
one's not even about dinosaurs. Does she like? Does he or she like locusts? What about that?
he does not. But yeah,
It
we
was
had to go
named
see
after Jurassic
World.
Park.
Random thing. Speaking of
Oh.
dinosaurs, have you seen that Apple TV show, Tristan? Your kid will love that.
Oh yeah,
It's
that's great.
Yeah, it's like about how dinosaurs would be if they actually lived, like, or they kind of, it's like a National Geographic documentary or something like that, but they CGI'd all the dinosaurs, and it's really amazing.
No, what's it called?
Prehistoric Planet or something like that. I'll send it to you in the chat. I forgot the name, but man, it was so good. That
looks
came out this year too.
Yeah,
check it
it's produced by Jon Favreau from Mandalorian.
Really? Okay,
Obviously,
I
Happy
didn't know that.
Hogan.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No,
As long as we don't see cloning of dinosaurs with humans, I think it'll be solid.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I'm going to move on from my worst. I'm going to get to some stuff I actually liked. So, of course, the superhero stuff, like, like that's we've talked about those movies. I liked all of them, honestly. Even Morbius, like I thought Morbius was like fine. It wasn't like I didn't go see it in the theater, but I did see it when it was on Netflix. And I think it's still on Netflix, honestly. I thought
It
it
is.
was passable. Like the part that bummed me out about that was the fact that the original trailers drummed up a lot of Spider-Man stuff, and then they took it out because they, like DC, they don't really have a plan for their Spider-Man universe. they have a Spider-Man character universe without Spider-Man. So anyway, so Morbius was not one of my favorites, but I liked it okay. But I'm going to mention some movies that some of y'all didn't mention. Did anybody see Beast?
Is that with
No.
Idris Elba?
Idris Elba. It's basically Jaws in the jungle, but instead of a
Was it good?
shark, you have a tiger. I watched it on Peacock a few days ago.
Mhm.
I liked it, but I love Jaws. Like Jaws is one of my favorite movies.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
to take that kind of storyline and put it in the jungle with the tiger, it was cool.
I've
I
never
like.
seen trailers for it.
Yeah, the tiger looks really cool. I mean, they did a good
Mhm.
job with that CGI tiger. The kids in the movie though they're brutal. Like they talk way too much. We've got to, like, maybe the Watchers in the Basement should lead this
Initiative.
this initiative. Yeah, the Watchers initiative to kids should be seen, not heard in movies, I believe.
Wow.
or heard less, because I mean, and we're going to talk about later on when we get to our shows, there's some shows that have got kids that are just ruining stuff. Like, you know what?
Justin, you and I are on the
Yeah,
same page
yeah,
for that
you
one.
know what I'm talking about. You know what? Replace them with dogs, honestly.
Oh my
Dogs are
God.
better.
Yes. Yes.
Sue me, whatever.
Yes.
Sue me.
So,
Although the argument for kids should be seen, not heard would not have worked out for Harry Potter franchise, and that was a very successful franchise. Just
Or
I'm
for
not-
Percy Jackson that's coming out.
and
I'm
Percy
not
Jackson.
saying I'm not saying all kids. I'm saying like kids that are in like secondary roles that are just like their job is to be the kids of characters. Like, pump the brakes on them.
I think it should just be the same actors as the parents, but like walking on their knees. Like, there you go.
So you want to take away kid actor jobs? Like I just want them to shut up, but you want to like literally
Annihilate
take this away
them.
from them.
Good
Okay,
lord.
You said replace them with dogs.
Well,
Everyone likes dogs.
I'm trying to- yeah.
It's a fair trade-off.
That's
know,
true.
I like dogs so much that I even enjoyed DC League of Super Pets. Did anybody else see that?
I did
No.
not.
Oh, it's
I
good.
did.
No, did you like it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
She said that was an eh. That was an eh, not a yeah.
was
No,
a-
it was a yeah. I just
She's a cat person. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm not just a cat person. I'm an animal person.
That's true.
Period.
That's true.
But no, I don't know. I liked Bad Guys a little bit more.
It's funny.
Yeah, that was The Rock's first DC movie this year. He played
Ugh.
Krypto, Superman's dog, and the voice of Superman was John Krasinski. That was pretty cool. Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. Honestly, I tried to get Brittany to watch it because she loves her dog more than anything. And there's a lot of dog stuff in that. Obviously, it's about animals, but there's a lot of funny like dog jokes in there that I think
Mhm.
you'll appreciate if you check it out.
Mhm.
But League of Super Pets was good. Another animated movie that I'm not sure anybody else saw, but I enjoyed the hell out of it was the Chippendale Rescue Rangers movie.
You watched that?
Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Andy Samberg.
is.
Yeah, it's good.
I
Oh,
forgot about it.
man.
It's super funny. Yeah, no, it's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit kind of, but like now.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I was never a fan of Chippendale growing up, so that was like an easy. I'm not gonna watch this.
My
Yeah,
sister
so.
was.
Okay.
I kind of had to be forced to watch it because she got our nephew to watch it, and my nephew loved it, and so my nephew peer pressured me into it. So, but I liked it. It was good.
Maybe Justin's idea of kids should be seen, not heard, may apply here. No disrespect to your nephew.
So another one of my favorite movies. I don't know if anybody else watched this. Did anybody else watch Elvis?
Mm-mm.
I did.
What'd you think about Elvis?
Not great.
As he takes a sip of beer.
I thought the guy that played
That's
Elvis,
good.
Austin Butler, was pretty great though.
No, yeah. he did a good job playing the character, but
Yeah.
just like the way the movie was edited,
It's a weird
kinda-
story the way they
It threw me
yeah,
off.
Yeah.
The
I-
storyline, the timelines, everything was just kind of weird.
Mhm.
And then like the score of the movie kind of didn't make sense to me at all. It's like, why are you playing Rick Ross like to a fucking Elvis movie?
Oh no, but
Like-
it was Rick Ross covering Elvis.
Yeah.
It was Elvis covered.
That's why.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a Rick Ross song, dude. I had no idea.
No, I mean,
I was like, what the fuck is going on?
yeah, it's also kind of a longer. I think it's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
That movie was way too fucking long.
Yeah. George, you need to be the guy that comes in like when they're like, "Is the movie too long?" You just
Cut
it's
it.
way too fucking. Yeah,
Cut it.
that could be your job.
I love that.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I agree with you. It's kind of like the way they tell the story of Elvis's life is kind of like it's not a linear story. It's
It
kind
would have
of-
been better that way.
I agree.
if it-
I agree.
I think it would have been edited like in a chronological order, like everything, his whole life. It would have been a lot better to me, but whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but my number one movie is the Batman. I really enjoyed the Batman. However, I've told y'all, I mentioned this on the show a couple times. Upon rewatch, it doesn't really hold up as strong to me. But like Tristan said, I didn't watch a ton of movies this year, so I think the Batman was probably the best movie I saw. I thoroughly enjoyed the in theater experience the first time I saw it, and Robert Pattinson was great. Matt Reeves directed that movie. The Joker, or not the Joker. I'm sorry. Well, the Joker was in the movie, but the Riddler was great. Yeah, I like the Batman universe they're building, and I just wish the movie wasn't as long as it was. It was like 2 hours and 45 minutes, which
Way too long.
yeah, the second watch it was tough getting through that. But yeah, the Batman was my number one of 2022. But I think that's going to change later this week when I watch Top Gun Maverick.
It will.
So, and there's another movie, and our next episode we're going to talk about 2023. But there's actually another movie coming out later this week that I think I'm going to like a lot is Glass Onion, which is the Knives Out sequel.
Yes,
It's-
Knives Out was really good.
Yeah, so I don't know. Are y'all excited about that one?
Where's that
Yes,
coming
I am.
out on?
Netflix
Netflix.
Oh, that's cool.
next
Yeah, I'm
Friday.
excited
This
for that.
Friday.
That first one was really good.
Yeah. I was surprised how much I really enjoyed Knives Out. I mean, it had like a great cast, of course,
Mhm.
and seeing Daniel Craig kind of in that spot, very different from Bond, was a kind of quite refreshing. I know Amber and our friend Christian, he and his husband went to go watch it in theaters and said really great things. So I'm really excited to watch it when it comes out on Netflix.
Yeah, it was only in theaters for like a week. It was a very limited, or maybe less. It was like right after Thanksgiving weekend. It was like. So we got a question. Go for it.
So
Brittany.
Kaylee asked, "Did any of you guys watch Senior Year with Rebel Wilson?" I did.
I did.
Yes, if that's the one where she has like amnesia and she like comes back
Yeah.
as a 30-year-old, but she's still like mentally like a 17, 18-year-old. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
actually kind of funny. It was
It was funny.
it was silly. It was maybe like unnecessary, but it was funny. I was entertained by it.
Yeah. If
girl-
you want a good chuckle, yeah.
Yeah, the girl that plays the younger version of Rebel Wilson actually is the blonde girl from Spider-Man Far From Home. The one that hooks up with Ned throughout that whole
Okay.
trip. Yeah, she's I don't know her name, but she plays the younger version of Rebel Wilson.
Oh,
And
the character name is like bouncing around my head. I'm trying to think of.
I know, right? It's like there. Anyway, yeah, it was funny. It was worth a
Yeah.
watch. I mean, but I don't think I'll go back and rewatch it. But it was funny. Yeah,
I think
Betty-
it's on Netflix, right? I think.
somewhere.
It
I think,
was
yeah,
on
I think it
Netflix.
was. Yeah,
Okay.
it was on
was on
Netflix,
Netflix.
and I think it came out in January. It came out earlier in the year, at least.
It did. Kind of another one in that field. Amber, I talked to you about this. It was on Hulu, I think. It was Rosalind,
Loved it.
which is the other kind of like the Romeo and Juliet, but told from Juliet's cousin's perspective, because she was actually with Romeo before Juliet got with Romeo. That was actually really cute, really funny.
I liked it.
It was
It's
fun
on
to
my
watch.
list of movies that I did watch.
Yeah. Yeah. But let's talk about shows, y'all, because
Just want to. I
I'm
thought about
ready.
the name. So Betty Brant is the name of the character that
right.
that actress played in Spider-Man: No Way Home, and all three of the or at least two of the Spider-Man, Tom Holland movies. So
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so the big screen, is always a big deal. But I mean, let's be real. The best content is on streaming and TV.
Yes.
So, George, I'm going to start off with you once again because you see all, you know all.
Oh my god.
So
Did I
let's start
watch
out.
it all?
Let's start out again. We're going with the worst to first. So, what was the worst television or streaming show you watched?
There's a show on Netflix called Blockbuster, which I thought would be funny.
Oh,
I thought it was gonna be a little. I saw Asian Jim. I was like the chick from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I was like, oh, it has potential. And God, what's his name? Leon from Curb Your Enthusiasm was on it. What's his JB Smooth? Smooth? I forgot his name. But he's on. I thought it was gonna be a funny show. Not funny at all. Did not make me laugh at all. That was my worst show that I saw this year. Another show that I saw on Amazon. It's pretty bad. Well, it was okay. The Terminal List.
Oh, I like that one.
I thought Jay. The only reason I say it's bad is because like they make so many shows. Amazon's made so many shows that are kind of that style. Jack Reacher. The other one
didn't
with
watch Reacher,
Jack Reacher is way better than that show.
Okay.
John Krasinski's in that one, right?
No,
Yeah.
That's
no. Jack Ryan.
That's Jack.
Jack
Jack
Ryan.
Ryan. There you go. Fuck. I forgot.
They all
about
sound
that.
alike.
No, but Reacher's a different show. Reacher's
that one's good.
I haven't
That's
watched
the
Reacher.
guy from Titans.
Yeah,
He
Alan
plays Hawk.
Richardson. Yeah.
So Terminal List was on my. I didn't think it was that great. The After Party on Apple TV.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be funny, but it wasn't.
It's funny, but like, it's the whole thing is kind of like a murder mystery type thing, like who killed the person, and it's kind of like you can kind of figure it out. It's not that hard to figure it out. Manifest.
Yeah, Kaylee in the chat says she thinks the worst show, hands down, is Manifest. Haven't heard of it.
That's on.
Is that the one with the airplane and they get amnesia?
Yeah,
and shit?
it's on Netflix. It was
Yeah.
it was an NBC show originally, but it got canceled, then bought by Netflix or something.
Oh, okay. I think I watched like an episode or two. It didn't really catch my attention.
I heard not great things about it, but that's all I've heard.
Yeah. What else? We Crashed on Apple TV.
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
Not good.
No.
Other than that, that's pretty much it. I mean, some of the Marvel shows, I they were okay, but they're not even coming close to my list.
Yeah.
So
But-
what's some of your best?
Oh my god, there's a fucking lot. I just want to say that when it comes to TV shows, HBO is undefeated. The best shows on TV, like right now, hands down. It's not even close.
Well, I mean, there's one show that might be better than the HBO shows.
Which one?
Your background
Yes.
probably. Is,
Hint, hint.
your background
yeah,
is the hint,
It's-
George.
Yeah.
It's but like talk about consistent shows that
Oh,
are
yeah, definitely.
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It doesn't come close at all.
Yeah. I agree with you.
So number one's not even an HBO show, which is fucking hilarious. It's AMC Plus, Gangs of London. That was my number one show this year. I know I haven't been on the podcast, but God, that show, character development, action, it's just everything you could want in a TV show is
It's
on
a modern
Netflix.
day Game of Thrones. It
It's
really
so
is.
good.
It's
It's
really good.
really good. But that's the only show that I have on there kind of like that. So number 2 for this year that I had was Industry. I don't know if y'all seen it.
Heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Kristen, I don't know if Frank told you to watch that show.
Yeah, I kind of cut off from Industry before the finale. I was going to talk a little bit about Industry in my.
It's a good finale. You need to finish it because that's the reason it's number 2 on my list. Just like a lot of story shit that happens. That's really good.
Okay.
Number 3 on my list, I have The Rehearsal. It's a comedy show. Nathan Fielder is a fucking genius. That guy is hilarious, man.
Look
I
at
don't know.
Tristan's face. He's like,
He's,
Oh no!
Oh,
he's,
no, sorry.
he's fucking funny, dude.
my bad.
It's just a show like I've never seen before. It's just something ridiculous, hilarious. That's number 3. Number 4, a show that I didn't think I would really care about was The Bear.
Oh, The Bear is awesome. Love that
was
show.
such a good show.
One of my
Mhm.
favorites. Yeah.
Such a good show.
Very good.
The guy Chris, the director, the creator of the show, Chris, he co-produced the Rami on Hulu.
Mhm.
That's another show that I was watching this year. That one was pretty good, but that show is so frustrating to me. Just because like the character is so unlikable and he does so many things that are unlikable. But yeah, he created that show, The Bear. Number 5, which is pretty crazy that I have this on here, is because it's not the type of shows I like and shit. It's from the creators of Downton Abbey. It's called The Gilded Age.
Oh, that's on my list too.
That show was so fire, dude. Oh
Mhm.
my god. I don't like time period stuff like that, but Anna does. And I even got Frank onto this fucking show, and even he was calling me after every episode, like, "What the fuck?" Like the drama, everything was just unmatched. So good.
And the costuming and like the set design.
Oh yeah, everything beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
amazing show. But what did it for me was the characters, like the George, that family. Oh my god, insane. That was number 5. I'm just gonna list the rest of these out of order. It doesn't really matter. Barry, season 3,
Okay.
so fucking good. House of Dragon, can't forget that one.
Heard of it? Yeah.
Yeah. White Lotus. I don't know if y'all watched that
Yep.
at all.
Season 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was good. Atlanta season 4, the finale,
Watch it.
Mhm.
really good. The ending was thought provoking, kind of like is it real? Is it not? Like it's such a good show. That was a good ending to that show. And last one I have on my list was Mo from A-Leaf Zone, Mo Ochner.
Yeah.
So it's just cool seeing Houston represented on TV and just seeing places that like I drive by every fucking day. Like that's right by my house. So it was
They
just
actually
cool to
film
see
in Houston.
Yeah. And so
Nice.
that's it. Those are my top shows for this year.
And Mo is a Netflix show, correct?
Yeah, that's on Netflix. That's the only Netflix show I had on there.
Very cool.
All right.
Brittany, let's go to you. Worst first, and then give us your best.
Oh man, the worst show. I watch it,
we're-
and
I hope we don't have
you-
the same one, but we probably do.
yeah, you and I probably have the same one.
Oh, okay.
Is
We'll talk
it a
about
Disney Plus show?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Is it Star Wars related?
Yes, it is.
Yes. Okay, and I can't say Andor because I can't get past the second episode. Man, Andor is a slow burn. I keep hearing consistently from
People
people.
say it's so good though.
Yeah,
I
that's what
know,
I've
but
heard
they
too.
say
Yeah.
but they say it gets better after the third episode. Okay, and I'm like, I can't even get past the second one. Like
And it's
John
like
fell
12
asleep watching the first episode, and
think
he's a
it's
huge
12
Star Wars fan.
It's 12 episodes or something. It's a lot.
I don't know. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's just I can't get past it. Anyway, but my worst show of the year, sadly, Disney Plus, Star Wars related, is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes.
I had so much high hopes for this because they brought back
Mhm.
Ewan McGregor. He was phenomenal, albeit in the prequels was not the best, but he was great as
That should have been a
Obi-Wan
hint.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. But the direction that they took this story ultimately does not fit with A New Hope. Okay, the storyline. You're telling me that Obi-Wan Kenobi meets the Skywalker twins and they have no recollection whatsoever come A New Hope when they're adults about having met Ben Kenobi. You've got to be shitting me. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. Also, the little girl that played Leia, Jesus Christmas, annoying as fuck.
Yep.
That little girl needs to learn how to run and stop running
Mhm.
away from her caretaker. She annoyed the mess out of me. Trisha is over here like, what? Like, I know listen, I'm not as huge of Star Wars fan as, let's say, my husband. I don't know lore as well as many other fans out here, but what I do know, for me, it's important continuity. And if the continuity isn't there, it's just not going to work out for me. So, like I said, these two kids who, spoiler, do meet Obi-Wan in different time periods, and then it's like, this doesn't match with A New Hope. Rogue One I was great with because it actually fittingly fell into the storyline for A New Hope. Like, cool, great,
Yeah.
no problem. This story absolutely did not. And the fighting sequences were cool for what we got, but then some of that stuff also didn't make sense either, with how like Vader, Anakin just wanted to burn Kenobi. It's like, dude, just finish him.
Yeah.
Like Mortal Kombat the shit out of him. Like, come on, like, finish him. And it just annoyed me. There were so many aspects of that show that annoyed me. The set did not look good. I'm probably saying everything that Justin would say as well when it comes down to talking about Obi-Wan. That's my number one worst show for the whole year. There's nothing that can compare to it.
Totally agree.
My best, or honorable mentions leading up to the best, in no particular order, truly. I really enjoyed Moon Knight. We talked about it here on the Watchers. I love the psychological aspect of it. It was different. I thought Oscar Isaac was, fantastic as three characters in one, basically. He was great. I consider it a show because it was a kind of like a docu reunion thing. Justin and I did a pod over it. It was the Harry Potter reunion. I loved it. I thought it was great. It warmed my little heart, my little Harry Potter heart. It was fun to see, the characters or actors, get together again, and that was cool. Netflix The Crown, the new season, dropped this year. I thought it was extremely well done. It's not one of my favorite seasons compared to others, but I love the show. I needed to see it through. The Handmaid's Tale. Amber and I did weekly reviews on The Handmaid's Tale. If y'all haven't checked that out, please do so. I thought the season was great up until the finale.
Yeah.
And it seemed
Same.
to be like a consistent theme with a couple of other shows that I watched as well. Mel says she loved Moon Knight, so glad to know. Interview with a Vampire, AMC Plus. Y'all, that show was fire. So
on my
fucking
list.
good. I'm sorry. Jacob Anderson, who played Grey Worm from Game of Thrones, stars in this show. He is incredible. Sam Reed, who plays Lestat, a complete unknown actor to me, who's a huge fan of the books, Anne Rice's books. Oh my God. The two of them are just perfect together. Y'all go check out Interview with a Vampire.
Please.
Wednesday did a pod on that too. Everything I'm
Mhm.
talking about is pretty much everything we did here on the Watchers in the Basement. So be sure to check out our past shows because we had fun doing them. Tristan, Amber, and I we all got together to do Wednesday. Really enjoyed it. I actually binged it a second time because I really fucking enjoyed it. It was such a good show.
Mhm.
And then my top two, The Boys. Herogasm, y'all, was fucking incredible.
Yes.
That's still my favorite fucking episode of this whole season. And Jensen Ackles, I never watched Supernatural before. I totally get it, y'all. Totally get why y'all are so fascinated with him. He's incredible. And then number one for me is House of the Dragon. My God, that show is a gift. It is such a gift, and I'm so here for the next season. I'm here for Daemon Targaryen's toxicity. I'm here for all of it. Absolutely. There is nothing that man can do, war, crimes or not, that I will not support. I mean, come on. I'm here for it. Let's go. So yeah, those were my best shows. I'm sure there's a few others that I can't recall off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But quickly, yes, that is that's my list. Shout out to Corey in the chat. Appreciate you being here, Corey. Yeah,
Very
Tristan. Let's wait a minute before we move on. Trisha says, hated the season of The Boys. Maybe I'm not cool enough for it.
What?
Wow.
Yikes.
Hated The Boys?
How
Those
dare
are
you?
strong words.
Yikes.
Trisha,
Oh.
what is going on?
Oh.
Oh, Kaylee, I think I started watching Solar Opposites, but I don't think I finished it.
Never heard of her.
It's from Joyce and Roiland, the creator of Rick and Morty. I tried watching it. I couldn't get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mel
But
says
also, I
hashtag
never got into Rick and Morty either. So
same.
Rick and Morty was funny, but I feel like it's just going on too long now. But
yeah.
it was really good at first.
Wouldn't
Mel
it be Team Toxic Targaryen Hunkle because he's a husband uncle?
And I don't care. Toxic Targaryen daddy. I don't care. That man's everything. Oh, Trisha says the show is so excessive. That's what makes it great.
I'm like genuinely scared of Homelander though. Like
as you should.
something
As you should be.
yeah, like it like triggers a primal fear. At my previous job, the way to get to the warehouse where I worked, there's a huge Apple display and a huge monitor, and it constantly ran different Apple TV shows. And one of them that they did was a huge close up of Homelander smiling intensely into the camera. Scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
Daily.
He's psychotic, but also here for his toxicity as well. Just not on the same level as Daemon Targaryen. Anyway,
Yep.
Moving on. Tristan, let's hear your worst TV show list and then your best.
So I give you my worst, and from going backwards, and then my best, and then my honorable mention. So starting worst, the show I'm going to mention first, I didn't actually think was bad. It's a really good show, but this particular season just kind of made me hate everybody in the show. So I just kind of stopped watching, and that's Industry.
Wow.
By the time I stopped watching this season of Industry, I hated every character.
Why?
Every single character. They're all like there's no reason to root for a single one of them. Like all of them are horrible in different ways. And
I think Tristan, I think that's the point.
I couldn't enjoy the show the same way because I was just like so frustrated watching every character. Like, how can you continue to make these horrible decisions and just be a horrible person? So again, Industry, great show, but this particular season just made me hate every character and for different reasons. Snowfall. Love Snowfall up until this last season. This last season was more like it was a caricature season. It was where they just pushed everything about the show that we love to the extreme. And the writing, everything suffered. The plot line, everything suffered in this last season. And I tried watching Blockbuster as well. Like I was certain, like just the premise of the show would be interesting and that I'd love it. Couldn't get past like 2 episodes. I was out on it. So that's my worst list. Best, again, starting from at 5, The Bear. Love The Bear.
Yep.
Again, like The Bear was everybody I could tell about The Bear. I recommend it. It took like the I've never seen a show from the restaurant perspective, like the actual kitchen perspective.
It's intense.
It's super intense.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I was there. All the pressures they were feeling, I felt it as well. It
Was Gordon
amazing.
Ramsay there?
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's season 2. Yeah.
4, The Boys. I mean, the Boys just hit another level this season. Just the themes are just like about power and hero worship, celebrity worship. We're all on full tilt this season. Abbott Elementary, the best sitcom we have going.
Very good show.
It is a
Mhm.
perfect show. Like every episode just hits in a different way. Funny, smart, not heavy-handed. Amazing show. Amazing writing. Casting is amazing. Perfect show. House of the Dragon. Again, you may have heard of it once or twice, but House of the Dragon. Props for just continuing the Thrones dynasty and just adding on a different element. It got me back on the Game of Thrones, and I was off Game of Thrones. Like I was content with never watching Game of Thrones ever again because of the last 2 seasons, and House of the Dragon got me back. My favorite show of this year was Atlanta. I thought this was the best season of Atlanta, which was already one of my favorite shows. This season was smart. It was grounded in a way that season 3 wasn't, and I love season 3. But Atlanta was my favorite show this year. It might be tied with House of the Dragon. So this, semantics, but honorable mention, Gilded Age. Love Gilded Age. I watched it myself, and then I rewatched it again with my wife. She started to watch Gilded Age. Winning Time, HBO Max.
Lakers. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was a good show too.
Was amazing. And then White Lotus, of course. I just finished White Lotus, the 2nd season, which built upon season 1. The performances, Megan Fahey, good Lord, put on a clinic.
The Italian hookers are great.
Oh my God, they're the MVPs of the season
Yeah.
to me, along with Megan Fahey. Jennifer Coolidge put on a clinic, and Aubrey Plaza. I've always loved Aubrey Plaza. She just cemented that with this 2nd season of White Lotus. That's my list.
Very good.
I want to ask Tristan a question. Since House of the Dragon kind of renewed his faith in the world of Game of Thrones, now that Henry Cavill's free, do you think we'll see him as an Aegon the Conqueror?
No.
Damn.
But
Well, aren't all the Targaryen men like described as kind of like lithe and like not built like Cavill is? Isn't that kind of? I mean, I haven't read them, but I thought that's how they were described.
I think you need that for Aegon the Conqueror.
I want it only because y'all want it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question for Tristan.
What's up?
Do you think Judge Judy was thick in the season finale?
I have no doubt that Judge Judy was thick as fuck.
Okay, that's all I needed to know.
Wait a minute.
No doubt.
What?
That's all I needed. Y'all need to watch the show.
Is this Atlanta you're talking about?
Yeah.
Atlanta, yeah. Season finale, Atlanta.
Is this the same Judge Judy that we've seen on Court TV?
Yes, it is.
It is.
No shit.
It
Okay.
is.
What the fuck?
Okay.
She thick?
She thick.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Back to Cavill, I think he's more of a strong man. Like he'd be a strong.
Yeah, he is.
You get what I'm saying from
Yeah,
the
he is.
You know what I'm
Moving on,
saying? The
Justin.
characters.
Moving
I
on,
know. Okay, that failed.
Word it how you like, but we agree.
We agree. We're here to support him and all his doings.
What are the strong? What's the strong? They're strong, right? They're
Yeah.
in House of the Dragon. What's the family? It's House Strong, right?
How strong?
Yeah.
How strong?
It's been a while
We know
since
what
I
you
watched
meant.
that.
We're just
Yeah, that's he can be whatever he wants to be in House of the Dragon. I just want him in House of the Dragon. I'd prefer a
I mean,
Targaryen, but
He may not be Aegon the Conqueror, but there's like 47 other Aegons he could be, so he could
That's
just pick and choose.
fair.
Yeah.
that's fair. Anyway,
So
let's hear Amber's
Amber's list,
worst and best.
okay.
worst and best.
I don't really have a worst. I just don't watch a show if I don't have an interest in it or don't like it. I just don't watch it. So I don't really have it. So I'm gonna start with my honorable mentions and then kind of go into the ones that I really, really liked.
Yep.
Go for it.
So Gilded Age, First Kill was also a Netflix show. It's Romeo and Juliet, but with vampires and vampire slayers, and it's two girls as lesbians. It was interesting. I like binged it in a day. It was interesting for what it was. The Midnight Club, also on Netflix. Sandman, also on Netflix. We're going on a binge here. Cabinet of Curiosity, I liked that a lot. And on last one for Netflix was Archive 81. I really liked that one. It's not on my like top of my list, but I liked it. It's like
I
a
forgot about that
psychological,
show.
yeah, like psychological thriller. I wouldn't call it a horror, but I liked it a lot. I thought it was
Suspenseful.
yeah, it was very like intriguing plot wise, so I liked it. Then I have Moon Knight because I really liked Moon Knight, and on HBO Max is The Time Traveler's Wife. I really liked that show because you're going back and forth from it's this woman telling her story of her life, and she's technically known this man who will eventually be her husband her entire life. And so but we got to see so much more of like the nitty gritty, like the drama behind that. Like he's at first when they were just friends, he didn't want to like be like grooming her. And so it's like very interesting things that the movie adaptations never touched on. And there's some scenes that are very powerful. I really, really liked it. Like, I really recommend this show. And they do really good at talking about what timeline the characters are in, like the main character, Henry, and his wife. They do really well at saying, like, she's this age, he's this age. This is the year that's happening. This is how, like, they make it not confusing, which I feel like the movies kind of had to rush through so much because they had to rush through an entire life.
Okay.
So I really liked Time Traveler's Wife. But some of my favorites have already been discussed, so I'm just going to say them. Wednesday, House of the Dragon, and Interview with a Vampire. But some of my favorites that was not mentioned was Our Flag Means Death. I don't know if anyone else has seen it.
Heard of it? It's Taika Waititi.
Mhm.
He did like the writing for
Yeah, he did the writing for it. I like pirate stuff. Like, I think it's funny, and the main characters are inspired by actual pirates, like Blackbeard, Edward Teach, and Steve Bonnet. Like, those are actual pirates in history. Obviously, this is a highly fictionalized version of it, and it's really just goofy and silly and fun for a good time. But my absolute favorite, I think, was What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
Brittany
Yep.
knows I talk about this show constantly.
Amber is a huge vampire
Mhm.
theme fan girl
Yes.
person.
And What We Do in the Shadows, it's a mockumentary. It's filmed like The Office, but it's following very
Vampires.
stupid vampires. And I find it funny just because like vampires are so often perceived as like super elegant and sophisticated. And, oh, I've had centuries to learn 14 languages. No, these guys are idiots. They're just
Awesome.
vampires. But also I double checked because I brought it up earlier. Yellow Jackets, the like last 2 or 3 episodes did come out in 2022. So
On a technicality, you did it. Yeah.
Whatever works.
Congrats.
Whatever works. Yeah.
Yellow
Oh,
Jacket.
I was gonna say, George, Tristan, y'all didn't mention Yellowstone. I mean, even though it's currently running, but
I haven't watched anything, so don't say anything. I don't have Paramount, dude, so I'm waiting till all these episodes come out.
okay.
And I wouldn't put this season on my top.
Okay.
That's sad and disappointing. I'm very sad about that.
Man, a lot of good stuff came out this year. Like
Yeah, that's fair.
a lot of good stuff.
Mhm.
That's fair. Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
curious because we're currently y'all are currently reviewing Yellowstone of Frank, Tristan, and Marcy, and I mean they're killing it with the views. But yeah, Yellowstone seems to be a good show for many. Although, yeah, this last episode y'all were like, eh. Yeah. So Justin.
Oh wait,
Oh, sorry.
She's not done.
Texas Potterhead, which vampire show? I mentioned like 3.
Let's narrow it
She's
down.
hedging her bets. She's like, well, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm just genuinely curious, like, because there's First Kill, there's Interview with a Vampire, and then What We Do in the Shadows.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
that's
Good to know.
3. I can count.
Good job, Amber.
All right.
So for my list, you were done, Amber. You're right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Yellow Jackets. I just wanted to. I'm just begging the world to talk to me about Yellow Jackets. I have so many theories and things I need to discuss.
That could be something for
Uh-oh.
2023 for all of us.
First kill. First kill is what Trisha was referring to.
Mhm.
It had potential.
I agree.
All right.
So
That's it.
for my list of shows, Brittany, you mentioned my worst. It's Obi-Wan Kenobi. There's a reason why we didn't do a pod about it. And also, there's a reason why I haven't watched Andor because I think Andor might be good, but because Obi-Wan was so bad and it made me hate Star Wars again. You know, like the movies, like the recent, like Rise of Skywalker, one of the worst movies I've ever seen. It's just terrible. Made me hate Star Wars until Mandalorian did a neat little trick where they brought Luke Skywalker back in my life, and I was like, well, that's cool. I love Luke Skywalker. I'm back on board for Star Wars. And then Obi-Wan Kenobi comes back and just dashes my hopes with Star Wars. And so Andor might be the best thing ever. I'll probably never watch it, honestly. And I think I might be done with Star Wars until the Mandalorian season 3 or whatever. I'll watch that. But
I'm gonna take one for the team and watch Andor now that we're officially on break. And I'll let you know if it's worth watching because I'm gonna be brutally honest. So
yeah, but we don't always agree though. So I don't know. We'll see.
you will agree with me, damn it.
I've seen people say that it's the best Star Wars thing they've released.
I've
So
heard the same as well,
that's a
but
lot.
but so far it's a slow burn. But everyone says it picks up after episode 3, and I'm like, okay, if I can get past episode 2, I'll let you know. But like, we'll go from there. So okay, Obi-Wan,
So,
the worst. Yes.
Obi-Wan's my worst by far. I've got some other superlatives for some other shows that I didn't enjoy. The Rings of Power was the most boring show I watched this year. The Rings of Power, which
forgot about that show.
exactly an Amazon Lord of the Rings show you forgot about. And that's a failure in my book.
It was airing
I still need to watch
simultaneously,
it.
but it was
Oh.
airing simultaneously as House of the Dragon. Like that
Yes.
was
Yeah.
huge.
Easy to
Not a
forget.
good move. Not a good move.
Not a good move.
George, what were you going to say about Rings of
Listen,
Power?
that's easy to forget if you're competing with fucking House of the Dragon.
Hell yeah.
And there is no competition. I think I've said this on the show. I think I said it to Brittany. Literally more things happen in one single scene of House of the Dragon than happens in the 8-episode run of the Rings of Power, which I started calling it the Rings of Power nap because I would watch it on Friday mornings. And I never made it through one episode without like looking at my phone or like just forgetting what I was doing. Like it's just, I mean, it looks like Amazon spent a lot of money on it, but yeah, it's not very good.
Based
So-
on what you and John talked about, Rings of Power, and a few other people that I know.
Yep.
again, continuity. If the storyline doesn't make sense, and because Amazon didn't have rights to all the characters and all the stories from the Silmarillion, it's kind of like you're pulling a Star Wars and having to rewrite things like as you're filming it. Potentially, it's like.
I think they're basically like trying to redo the Lord of the Rings story with whatever characters they have at their access. I think that's what they're doing. So yeah, like it's not has nothing to do with the movies, The Hobbit or the original movies. So yeah, it's not great. My most disappointing show so far is Titans season 4. Titans is on HBO Max. I wish Frank was on this show because Frank actually got me and George to watch Titans.
Yeah.
And Titans season 3 was fantastic until the finale. The finale wasn't great. This season, man, it's
I got 3 episodes in, Jay. Did you finish it?
Well, it's only they're doing it like they're breaking it up. Like they did 6 episodes. They're doing like a part 1 and they're doing a part 2. I'm not sure when part 2 starts. But yeah, I mean, this show, and what's sad about this is this show's on its last legs because I think it is because of all the DC stuff, all the changes. Because now James Gunn, not only is he going to have the same continuity in movies, but he's had the same continuity in TV shows like Marvel, and they're going to have the same continuity in their video games, which I say good luck to that. That sounds like a mess. But yeah, Titans so far disappointing. Some of my honorable mentions of shows I like. Another show that's on its last legs probably is Superman and Lois on the CW. It's a different Superman story, but it's actually a Superman story. And unlike the Superman that Henry Cavill played, this Superman is actually Clark Kent and Superman. Lois Lane is in the show. She's a big part of it. I mean, hell, she's in the title of the show. It's just great. There's so many like great things about this show. It's kind of like the spiritual successor to Smallville in a way. It's like if Smallville had continued, 20 years later, this is kind of what Superman and Lois is. And I really enjoy it. I think it's a bummer that it's only going to get 3 seasons, but I guess that's the DC world we're living in right now.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive, right? Yeah, a lot of their shows are deceased. They're no longer. Yeah.
How long were you sitting on that?
Oh,
I know, right?
A whole
Did you write that down?
I don't write my jokes, you know that. So
no, we know you do.
I have no paper in front of me. Literally, I have no paper.
You have a computer in front
I'm trying to
of you.
save the environment here. I have no paper though.
You have a computer screen in front of you. Like you could have a list.
Just let me have this, please. Okay. Okay, so another honorable mention is She-Hulk, which it's the only. I mean, I like Miss Marvel also, but She-Hulk was my favorite Marvel show this year.
George is like, no.
You like She-Hulk?
No, She-Hulk was good. I didn't like Miss Marvel.
Didn't like Miss Marvel. Okay. Now She-Hulk was great. It was 30 minutes. Like what was it? 8 or 10 episodes? It was 9 episodes actually. Split the middle. Yeah. Breezy show to watch. Fun show to watch. Daredevil was in it. Like there was a lot of cool stuff. Yeah, there was a lot of cool stuff in this show. I enjoyed it. My last honorable mention, Tristan talked a little bit about it. The White Lotus season 2. For those who don't know, the White Lotus is about a resort that people go, like a family, like a vacation resort that people go to with their families or whatever. And the first season, it was a resort. I can't remember where it was based in the first season. Hawaii. Okay. This season, it's the same. It's a White Lotus resort, but it's in Italy, and it's different characters except for what's that?
Tuscany.
Yeah, Tuscany. Yeah. So it's different characters from the first season, except for there's only one holdover character, I believe, maybe 2, kind of. I really enjoyed it. I thought the first season was funnier. This season was there's way more sex in this season. I didn't expect it's like full on pretty much most of the episodes, but no, it's an entertaining show. It's one of those HBO shows where it's like, HBO, like they can take anything and kind of make it work. And this show definitely worked. So my number 5, and I was surprised George didn't mention this, is Welcome to Wrexham. It's on
great show
on FX and Hulu. It's about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny. During the beginning of the pandemic, they decided to use their Hollywood big bucks and buy a English football team, which that's soccer for us over here in the United States. They bought a very bad team, and it's basically a documentary about how they're trying to take this team from the bottom level of the English football leagues and rise and bring them up to the top of the pyramid, which is the Premier League. And it's really interesting. I've enjoyed it. George, what do you think about that show?
It was great. It made me a fan of the team, like
Yeah.
seeing all the players, learning about them, and just seeing the struggle that they're trying to go through and what they're trying to accomplish to just rise above and go to that next level and trying to get to the Premier League. So I'm excited. If I can watch more games and find out how to watch them, I definitely would.
Yeah. ESPN's picked up some of their games, I think, because of the
That's pretty
popularity of the show. So that's
Awesome.
that's pretty cool. But no, it's like heartwarming. But it's like real. It's really happening, and it's a cool story. And also, you have fans dressed up like Deadpool at the games because of Ryan Reynolds. So it's fun.
And no one knows who Rob is.
Yeah, no one knows who Rob McElhenney is from It's Always Sunny, even though he's been on TV for like 20 years now because that show's lasted forever. My number
Nice.
4, also an FX show, which was already mentioned, The Bear. The Bear is a great show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The star of the show is Jeremy Allen White, who I was only familiar with him from that show Shameless, which was a Showtime show, I believe.
Another good show.
Yeah, I only watched a little bit of that show, but that show was always pretty interesting every time I tuned into it.
Mhm.
And The Bear is it's like 7 or 8 episodes of just like this intense story of this guy who he's like this highly regarded chef, and he ends up coming back to his hometown of Chicago to take over his brother or his family's sandwich shop, basically. And it doesn't sound like the most exciting story, but they really make it where it's like, honestly, it's the most intense show I watched all year.
Mhm.
I'm not a binger, as Brittany can tell you. I've talked about that many times on the show. I watched that show like in a day and a half. Granted, it's not a long show to watch. Yeah, but I burned through it because it was just like I couldn't stop watching it. I was like, I need season 2 like right now. And also, this show, The Bear, not only did it come out in 2022, it was filmed in 2022. They shot it in February. They turned it around. It came out in
Really?
I believe it came out in May or June, or maybe
Yeah, around it was no, I think it came out in June
Yeah, they shot it in
because it
February.
was right when I moved.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Really enjoyed The Bear. My number 3, no one mentioned this show, and that's Peacemaker with John Cena.
Good too.
Yeah, that's a great show.
I didn't watch it.
Another
but,
HBO show.
boy did.
Yeah. Yeah, Amber, you should watch Peacemaker. It's got a great opening song, and
No,
it's
I've seen clips
you've
of it. I've seen
that. Okay.
I've like seen it in passing, like while I'm doing other stuff, because my boyfriend's watched it.
Okay. Yeah.
So like I got the gist of it.
Yeah. Really enjoyable show. I hope it gets a season 2, but
Mhm.
because of this DC stuff, who knows? But the thing about this one is James Gunn wrote this show. This is James Gunn's baby. So you wonder, will he reboot this show also, which wouldn't make any sense because Peacemaker is a little known character and you just introduce this character. But then like in the show, there's cameos from like Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash, and Jason Momoa's Aquaman. So it's kind of a weird deal of you're going to reboot the whole universe, but you're going to keep your stuff. It's kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes. But I would love a season 2 of Peacemaker. What a great show that was. My number 2 is House of the Dragon. We've talked about it a ton. We did it the whole season. What can I say that can't be said? Phenomenal show. Can't wait for more of it. I was probably the highest though on that show going in out of everybody, I think, because everybody else
I knew
was
there
really
was something off about you. You were so high. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but I was like, you know what? If they do another Game of Thrones, they're not going to mess it up. Like, and in reality, the last season was bad. And let's be real, the last season of Game of Thrones is bad by Game of Thrones. No, it's bad by Game of Thrones. It's bad by Game of Thrones standards.
Season 7 is bad.
Season 7 was bad. Big dumb plan.
No, we're talking about season 8.
It doesn't matter. Still,
Season 7 had one bad episode, I think.
It still wasn't great.
Gendry running back and forth, that was ridiculous. Unless he's the Flash. Unless they recast him as the Flash in this new DC universe, which maybe they should. But no, Game of Thrones season 8 was not that bad compared to other shows. It was bad for Game of Thrones standards. No, it wasn't that bad. Trust me. The Witcher would give everything it's got to have like an ounce of that in its show. Also, the Rings of Power would love to have anything from Game of Thrones, like just a morsel.
That I would concede with.
Yeah.
Witcher, not so much. I like The Witcher for various other reasons, not because of Henry Cavill, but anyway.
Sure,
I digress.
Whitney. Sure.
No, I do.
The
My
Witcher
favorite
Ring of-
character is actually Jaskier. in
Jaskier
The
is
Witcher. So
fantastic. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good.
I
that's-
actually
I'm
like,
watching it
listen
for
to
him
his
now.
band casually.
Yeah. I'm just watching it for him.
oh, I
when
like
he-
what's her name? What's her
when he addresses the new Geralt.
Yennefer?
He's like
Yennefer.
something's different about you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Yennefer. I'd like to see Yennefer
Yes,
in
I'm
something
sure
else.
you are.
Yeah.
Jaskier is my Netflix profile
Less
picture.
close.
So you're,
Like,
you're in on the watch.
Yeah.
You're in the Witcher universe. There's a new Witcher thing coming out soon, right? Or has it already
There
come out?
is.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's coming
I
out.
haven't seen the other Witcher stuff. I want to. I keep meaning to. It just keeps slipping my mind.
Yeah.
I find something else to watch instead, and it just. But I want to. But I listen to because the guy who plays Jaskier, he actually is in a band and he writes his own songs and all that, and the lyrics and everything. Phenomenal voice, and I like it. Last year for my Spotify on Wrapped for 2021, the most common genre I listened to for that year was Bard because of him.
That's great.
But yeah, I like great voice.
Big fan. Okay. So
Mhm.
yeah. So House of the Dragon. What can I say? Great show. My number one is The Boys. The Boys season 3 was phenomenal. After Herogasm, I went to Twitter and I wrote this, and I still believe it. I said, I just watched the best 60 minutes of superhero content ever captured on film. I believe that. The Boys, we've been making fun of DC and talking about the situation. The Boys is not only above DC, The Boys is above Marvel in my mind. Now, it's a smaller sample size, it's a smaller universe. But what they did in season 3 by introducing a Captain America archetype and then making that Captain America archetype the father of their Superman archetype. I mean, like, you got me. So that's
Fair.
my number one. We talked about it a ton. Go back and check out our reviews of it. But yeah, I love The Boys season 3. And The Boys, I mean, honestly, I think The Boys, however many episodes they've done, they're batting 1,000. Whatever it is, like if it's 24, yeah, they're 24 for 24. Like they got a perfect game going. All the baseball analogies that I could think of. Anyway, so that's our best and worst. We'd like to know what your best and worst is. Brittany, how can people let us know on social media what their best and worst of 2022 are?
Well, I mean, we're not quite done just yet, Justin. I mean, we still.
Oh, I know we're not done, but I'm trying to little bumper in between the next thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I one other thing I do want to also say, the best of 2022, not so much show related, was adding and expanding our Watchers, network, our Watchers family, if you will,
Our
by
universe,
adding Kristen and Amber, and even having Drew come on the show periodically. And then the last pod with Desmond, it's been fun getting more people involved, getting more perspectives and talking. And I really, for me, that for the Watchers level, that's been like the best of 2022. Just saying.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's great to have Amber and Tristan and Desmond. And, Drew, of course, our friend from the north.
Yep.
And I just want to let y'all know we have no plans to reboot this time, but you never know. Things can change. Someone could come on. Frank could come back from vacation and decide that we're going to start over. We'll start over. But anyway, I want to play Lobo if that's the case.
I want to be tall.
You want to be tall, Brittany? Yeah.
I want to be tall, Brittany. Yeah. No, but to tell us your best and worst of 2022, of course, here in the live chat, we've heard from some of our friends here, Trisha, Mel, and Corey, but also, just be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search at Watchers Basement. Use that hashtag, the same hashtag, Watchers Basement, to let us know your best and worst. Also help grow our audience, of course. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We're very, very close to 200 subscribers. We're like 4 away. Like, that's how close we are. Just 4. Let's make it to 200 by the end of
Tonight,
2022.
Right now. It's 7:42 right now. It's 7:45. We want 200.
All right. Okay. You got 3 minutes, people. No, but yeah, seriously, do help us grow our audience. Help us get to 200 subscribers. Don't forget to like this video here on Facebook. Just kidding. YouTube. But lastly, we also have audio podcasts. Wow, I can't talk. On Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Spotify, thanks to Anchor.fm. Don't forget to give us 5 stars because we are awesome and we know it. We just need everyone else out there to know it as well. So, Justin.
Absolutely.
Back to you.
So, Brittany, the last thing we want to talk about is last week we did an MCU character draft. And we've been we've had the poll up all week,
Yep.
and I gotta say, and I'll talk to Tristan. I'll talk for you also, but I want to get your thoughts too. But it's a travesty of justice right now, honestly. I don't know if Brittany, if you have it where we can see the poll, but
Oh yeah, give me
it's
one
not looking
second.
good for your guy here.
Give me 1 second, y'all.
Am I still in last?
I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, let's take a look at this. Yep.
Yikes.
So at unfortunately Team Tristan's at 4% of votes.
Yeah,
Then we have Team Justin at 11%, myself, Team Brittany at 13%, Team Frank at 34%, and Team Desmonet in the lead with 38%. Now I will say those two have been going back and forth the last few days. It's
Yeah.
been quite insane, really.
they have, and we appreciate everybody who's voted.
Ron Johnson.
Brittany, if you wouldn't mind, could you show everyone's team if you have those slides available?
I
I'd
haven't
like to-
voted yet.
Okay, I want to.
I haven't either.
Okay, so I'd like for George and for Amber to just take a look at some of our teams. So this is Team Justin. This is my team. So I got Tony Stark,
Uh-huh.
Thanos,
Mhm.
Loki, Mr. Fantastic, Miss Marvel, and She-Hulk. That's
Now
a
keep in
pretty
mind,
good team.
the characters that we selected, you only get their past and present, not their future. Okay, you get them for what they are here and now.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll take the best character in Tony Stark and the best
So like
villain.
a good half of them are dead.
Yeah,
Amber?
damn. That's
She's
a good
just
Messing
point.
with you,
That's a
Justin.
good
Yeah.
point.
She makes a valid
Okay.
point because like 3 out of your 6 are dead.
Well, not what I wanted to hear. Please go to the next slide.
Next
So,
is Team Desmonet.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
So when I'm voting for this, am I voting for like whose team's the most powerful or like who's
You're voting for
like
the
most?
best team.
You're voting for
Okay.
which team you think is the best or the best collection of characters. Like maybe I don't know who the biggest hero and the biggest villain. I mean, that's a
Okay.
pretty good start for the MCU.
Because
Yeah.
having them on the same team is not going to be problematic whatsoever.
Okay.
They could work it out.
Whatever. So for Team Desmonet, she's got the original, the first Avenger, Captain America. We have Hulk. We have Okoye, which was kind of a big upset, I think, for Tristan. He
Man.
was, yeah, he was hoping to get her along with one of his other picks. We also have the Goddess of Death herself, Hela, Wong, and Hope Van Dyne, aka the Wasp. That is Team Desmonet. Team
She's currently
Frank,
leading.
who's currently leading. Second place thus far is Team Frank. the
George,
God of Thunder.
I just want to mention, George, look at Frank, his second pick, the 8th overall pick in the draft. No, I'm sorry. The 7th overall pick in the draft. Frank took Captain Marvel. We can't let him get away with this. Like,
Yeah.
Captain Marvel, if you've watched our rankings, which please watch our MCU rankings, but I'm going to spoil the number 30 movie because it's Captain Marvel. So,
Yeah.
Wait.
So Frank took Thor, Captain Marvel, Shang-Chi, Vision, Killmonger, and Valkyrie. So that's his team.
Okay.
Not a bad team,
Okay.
but Captain Marvel, like going that high, come on. You got to
I do
penalize
love
him for that.
Valkyrie.
Number 2, yeah.
Tristan, let's talk about your team.
T'Challa, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We got Bucky Sergeant, War Hero Sergeant Bucky Barnes. We got Black Widow Natasha Romanoff. Got Namor, Cuckoo Gun,
Good gun.
and we got Ant-Man, Mr. Clueless. This is a solid team, man. This is a solid team.
It's not a last
Wolf
place team,
Machine
that's
is
for sure.
Criminal.
None of them are bad teams.
This
I mean,
is-
you do have Namor who killed T'Challa's mother. So
We're not talking about the characters and their relationship with each other. We're talking
Okay.
about their relationship with their opposition. And
Okay.
Yeah, because I think you got to think about, like, are you actually trying to put in this situation, are you putting them in the same room and having them do something together as a team? Or is this more like a baseball card game, like Pokemon levels, where like this person has a certain point value, this person has a certain point value,
It's
it
that.
adds up to this.
And to
There
be
you
fair, we would only have problems with one character. Out of this. Everybody, 5 out of the 6 can work together pretty easily, right?
Yeah.
It's just one
Yeah.
misguided
mean-
character, but it's fine.
I mean, 5 out of 6 were in Civil War, so that's pretty
Exactly.
cool. You basically have a Civil War team right here. So
Namor could work remotely. He could just be on his own.
he could.
Yeah.
He could manage from the water. You're right. And last but certainly not least, let's talk about the best team. Team Brittany. See what I did there? The best.
Yeah.
Team Brittany. Okay, you get it, right? I went for power, y'all. Okay, who is more powerful than the Scarlet Witch? I'll tell you who. No one. All right. She will like take your lunch and then some, right? Like she's pretty powerful.
How did she do against Thanos in Infinity War?
How did Thanos do against Thanos in Infinity War and Endgame and everything? He's dead. She's not. Just saying.
Okay, fair point.
Yeah, so I went with power. From the jump, I went with power. To further that power, I went with Dr. Stephen Strange, right? The former, supreme sorcerer, still very powerful, not nearly as powerful as Scarlet Witch, but hey, power. Mystic arts. Okay, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. All my Harry Potter fans out there, you're into magic. You need to vote for me just on that principle alone. Okay, Amber, I'm looking at you. So,
But no, because
don't you argue with me on here.
Loki's also a magician too for Justin's team.
Who has Loki? I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also 3 out of 6 are dead.
Yeah,
Same.
Loki being one of them.
Nice. Variant. There's a
Yeah.
variant.
Mm.
So
still
then
technically alive.
can Justin
Variant.
claim there's other variants of Iron Man and everybody else and Thanos?
No, because we have not seen them. You have to have seen them or heard
Mm.
from them. That's the difference.
We get their past and present. So
their
obviously, with the
future.
dead characters, I'm going to take the past. I'm not going to take their present. So
I'm just really biased towards.
Moving on.
wait.
certain
Let Amber
characters.
finish the thought. What was she going to say? I think she's really
No, I'm
biased
just
toward
really
me,
biased towards certain characters.
like
That's fair.
Loki, right?
Stop it. So
I
you know,
appreciate
and
your
also
vote.
love-
Thank you.
I love Moon Knight too. So
Just-
I can't vote.
See,
You
we're not
have
done,
to
people.
vote. You have
We're
to
not
make a
done,
decision.
people. We're not done. We
Yeah.
went for power with these two, mystic arts wielders, but then you have to keep people on the ground. You got to keep the things balanced. Daredevil, Matt Murdock. If you've heard of him, Charlie Cox. I mean, dude is cold. Okay, he may be blind, but he is enabled in other aspects of his life. He is incredible. He is great. Right. And then I went for He Who Remains. Quite powerful individual in Loki. Of course, I can't, bring in the character who he, becomes. He's got a different name, but still in his own right, in Loki, quite powerful. All right, quite powerful. Again, to balance all this out, we've got Yelena Belova, equally trained assassin, much like her big sister Natasha there. I think she's the future, but for taking her for who she is now, she's a force to be reckoned with. And lastly, I did something I thought was genius. I took 3 people in one person, one who can wield the power of an Egyptian god. Come
was
on,
really
y'all.
clever.
Yeah, you've got supernatural and you've got practical combat skills with that of Mark Spector. I think I've got the best team. Let's just be real, okay? This is who you're going to vote for. The best Team Brittany.
You got 3 characters in one very mediocre show. So congratulations.
That's your opinion.
That's the
That's
world's
your
opinion.
opinion.
Did
That is
anybody
not.
mention Moon Knight as one of their favorite shows?
I did.
I did.
As one of your like tippy top favorites?
Yeah.
I said in no particular order.
Okay, fine.
I said some, and like in some of my favorites, I also listed Moon Knight.
Well,
Huh.
you said honorable. That's an
Huh.
honorable mention.
Shush.
No.
Okay, so George, who you leaning? I mean, I know it's me, but like for show reasons, like what are you gonna say? What do you think about those teams?
All right, look, power wise,
Mhm.
if I'm strictly saying power wise, I think Brittany's team wins. But if it's going with a team that I like, with characters that I like, I'm picking Tristan's team.
Oh, there you go. Okay, I can support this.
That's all I asked for.
I can support this.
Acknowledgement. I appreciate that, George.
I support this. George, you cast your vote for Tristan. That's okay. Just as long as it's not Justin.
Oh my god.
I just want to remind y'all.
Amber better vote for Justin if not, he's gonna be very sad.
No, I don't know what to do. I started off by saying I am the most indecisive person on the planet.
Cheers.
Every team has like characters that I really, really like my top favorite characters in the like MCU. So it's really hard because I don't have a number one favorite character, and it's horribly between Loki. Like if I had to pick, like it's between Moon Knight and Loki. So it's like,
Well,
but
we would appreciate you to vote for somebody. I mean,
I-
if it's
I'll
not
vote
me,
if
then
it-
vote for somebody. Yeah.
Flip a coin.
There you go.
maybe
hope-
I'll vote eventually. I'll roll
Also,
a dice
best
or
2 out of
something.
3 when flipping that coin.
I'll vote eventually. I promise. I just can't right now.
Yeah, well, everyone has until January 2nd of 2023 to vote because that's when we will be doing our next podcast. And so we'd like to announce the winner during that live.
So yeah.
Okay.
So please get your votes in before January 2nd. We would appreciate it. This has been a fun thing to draft. So I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, we're all winners, you know. So there's one winner who will be above all. You know what I mean? So
One ring to rule them all.
yeah, it should be me, but it won't be. So our next episode will also be a fun one. We're coming back on January 2nd we're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to in 2023. So we're going to talk about there's a ton of movies coming out in 2023, ton of shows that are coming back. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. Should be a fun one. Any
Yep.
final thoughts from anybody before we get out of here?
Just to go cast your vote in the community tab here on YouTube. Please vote for any one of us. Seriously.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's fine.
Just vote.
Just vote. It's been fun to engage with people who, are like, man, this is tough. I'm like, I know.
I just voted.
Oh,
Tristan has 6% now.
looky there.
The comeback is on. I
would
mean,
say
he
just
might.
watch some of the shows that we listed or movies. Just watch them. Watch them all.
There you go.
Watch them all. There you
Sign
go.
up for HBO.
Sign up for
I
Showtime so
should
that
be
you
getting
guys can
paid for
also
this
watch
shit.
it.
Please
Like-
sign up for Showtime and share it with George. Share your credentials with George.
Sign up with Showtime with like a 3-month fucking promo code, because other than that, it's not worth it.
I agree.
If it's,
Watch-
I think I paid $3.99 a month because it's not worth it at all. There's no new shows right now that's going on and shit that I really care about.
Because we have like
So-
several months until Yellow Jackets. So
Yeah,
and that's the only thing I have to like.
I
look
like
forward to.
Billions. I think Billions is the best show on Showtime. So
Mhm.
We'll talk
that's a
about
good
that
show.
too. But we are free, so please subscribe to our channel first. And we would
Yes.
appreciate that.
How far are we away? Because I just signed up. I just subscribed with my other 2 accounts on Anna's
We're-
account. online.
We're 2 away.
See,
Oh,
there
two
you
way.
go.
It's gonna happen.
2 away, y'all. Y'all got 4 minutes until 8 o'clock
Come
Central
on.
Standard Time to get
Someone
us
make
to 200.
someone make
Do it.
2 accounts and sign up. Come on.
And while you're at that, be sure to vote.
Be sure to
too.
vote too. Yeah.
vote for Justin on Anna's account, George on the other account or whatever.
I'll
Okay,
make
hold
5
on.
accounts total and just
There
vote
you
once
go.
for everybody.
There you go. Do that. Do that.
That is the best thing. Make 5 accounts, subscribe 5 times, and vote 5 times.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Now I voted for Justin.
Oh
Thank you. I needed
No.
that.
And then the last one's for Brittany.
no, thank you.
I do feel like I'm the people's champ. I don't know. I may not be the actual champ,
Goodness, that's funny. All right, y'all.
but so yeah. So let's wrap it up. So for Amber, for Tristan, for Brittany, for George, I'm Justin. We'll see you next time. Have a good night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Bye bye.